Alright, so with the release of the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, Phase 4 of the MCU has come to a close, so I am here today to rank all of the movies and shows from Phase 4 of the MCU. Only thing not included in here is the I Am Groot series of shorts from Disney+. I watched those, they were fun, but at the end of the day, I was just like, I don't really know where I'd rank that. I mean, it's not bad by any means, but it's just like, there's not much to it. So I didn't add that to the ranking, but the special presentations are on here, all the movies are on here, all the shows are on here. So yeah, let's have fun. But before I get to the actual ranking, let's talk about the movies and shows from Phase 4, starting with the first one, which is a TV show, WandaVision, which started in January of 2021. Then we have The Falcon and the Winter Soldier from March of 2021. We have Loki Season 1 from June 2021. Then the first movie of Phase 4 came out on July 9th of 2021, Black Widow. After that, it was What If, the first season of that, which came out in August of 2021. After that, the release of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings on September 3rd of 2021. Then the release of Eternals on November 5th of 2021. Then we have Hawkeye on Disney Plus for November of 2021. Then to cap off 2021, we have on December 17th, Spider-Man No Way Home. To kick off 2022 for Marvel, we have Moon Knight coming in March. Then we have Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness on May 6th of 2022. We have Miss Marvel in June of 2022. Then in July, on the 8th, we have Thor Love and Thunder. Then it's She-Hulk Attorney at Law, which came out in August of 2022. After that, the first Marvel special presentation, Werewolf by Night, which came out on October 7th of 2022. The last film of Phase 4, Black Panther Wakanda Forever, came out on November 11th of 2022. And the final release of Phase 4 of the MCU, the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, which just came out on November 25th. So yeah, without further ado, let's rank all these movies, shows, special presentations. Yeah, hopefully you guys don't hate me after some decisions here. But yeah, 17 in total, starting with 17 from the worst to the best. We have Eternals. I hate this movie. I absolutely hate this movie. Out of all the Marvel movies, this is the only one I've seen once. I think every other Marvel movie I've seen more than that. But this is the only movie I went to the theaters, watched it once. I was like, didn't mind it too much, you know, watching it that first time. And then the more I watched like reactions, the more I heard people talk about it, the more I watched scenes, the more I just hated this movie. It's one of my least favorite movies of all of the MCU. You know, it's super stylized. It has a great cast, but at the end of the day, that's kind of all it is. So yeah, that's why Eternals has to be at the bottom of the list. At number 16, we have Black Widow. I mean, we all wanted a Black Widow movie for so long, and this one just kind of feels like a little too late. Does it have a fun cast in it? Yes, I like Yelena, I like Alexei. You know, Natasha, obviously, she's fun. We like Scarlett Johansson in this role, but when it comes down to it, was the writing on this one the best? Not really. So yeah, that's why it's at number 16. At number 15, we have She-Hulk Attorney at Law. This is one I was, I don't know, debating on putting up a little bit higher, putting a little bit lower. I wasn't necessarily sure. But I felt like having it at 15 felt right, because at the end of the day, I don't hate that show. I had fun with it. But is it the best show in hindsight? Absolutely not. I'd pretty much rather watch any other Marvel show than this one. But that's not to say it's like the worst thing I've ever watched, because it, again, really isn't the worst thing. I've watched much worse. So yeah, it's not bad, but it's not the best. And a lot of episodes feel like filler, and by the end of it, it's just a little too crazy for me, and they went a little too meta. You know, I like meta jokes and stuff like that, but I don't know, at times it felt like they took it a little too far in there. There's even times in Deadpool where they take it a little too far with the meta-ness. But like in here, it's just, I don't think I'm in the minority of people not liking this show. I'm sure there's very few people that actually like She-Hulk. So, yeah. On to 14, we have Moon Knight, which I was debating on putting lower because it's a show that I just really didn't care much about. Oscar Isaac was great in the role, playing so many different roles in the show. But at the end of the day, I think this one falls into the same problem that a lot of other Marvel shows fall into, which is not not leaving yourself enough time by the end. You give yourself so many episodes, and then it feels like by the second to last episode, especially in Moon Knight, that you're like, well, how are they going to get to the point of actually wrapping this up and making it feel conclusive and making it feel satisfying? Because there's just so much left to address, and these episodes aren't long enough to do everything. And I don't feel like that finale really gave itself enough time, much like a lot of other MCU shows. But this one, even more so, I just didn't really care for the finale of this one. But yeah, I'm sure a lot of people love Moon Knight, and I can see why, but it's just not my favorite. Number 13, I have Werewolf by Night, a very interesting thing that Marvel tried, very new, very fresh, that I very much appreciate them doing. I love the whole black and white kind of classic monster movie type of thing that they were going for. It's very fun to watch, especially for the Halloween season. Would I watch it around Halloween next year or the year after? Probably, but this is another one of those that just doesn't do a whole lot for me in hindsight. Maybe we'll see more from his character going forward. Maybe we'll see more from Elsa Bloodstone. But as for right now, I don't think that special gave them enough time to really introduce those characters and flesh them out quite enough to, like, really, really care about them, So, yeah, that's why I have to put Werewolf by Night at number 13. At number 12, I have What If Season 1. Another show / movie / just Marvel project that didn't really do a whole lot for me, but isn't necessarily bad. This one, I like the animation aspect in the show. I like the aspect of seeing different outcomes and different possibilities throughout the Marvel Universe. And I'm very excited to see where they go with the second season. But when it comes to this one, it's another one of those shows that just leaves a little more for me to be desired. But at the end of the day, this one still is fun. Just not groundbreaking for me. Below What If at number 11, I have Thor: Love and Thunder. I know a lot of people would probably have this much lower on their list. But for me, I think there's still a lot of fun to be had with the movie. I mean, there's still a great cast. There's a lot of fun moments. Excuse me, terrible time to get hiccups. But there's a lot of fun moments throughout the film. The funny moments do, for the most part, kind of land. It's just the villain that I don't think they fleshed out quite enough. The tone of the film that they can't take really anything seriously at all. And I hate that kind of shit. Yeah, I mean, my complaints about the movie are a lot of other people's complaints. So, I don't like the nonstop jokey tone of the movie where they just can't slow down for 1 minute and just, like, take anything seriously. I mean, they kind of do for a little bit, but I don't know. It's always just joke fests with Thor nowadays, but at the end of the day, it's still a fun movie, I guess. So, I mean, it's one of those movies I'd put on in the background and just kind of, like, watch every now and then. So, yeah. Number 10, I have Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, a movie I very much hated the first few times I watched it because of certain decisions they made in the movie. Do I take back what I said? Not completely, but I'm a little bit less harsh on this film than I was when I first saw it. I do like the kind of horror tone of the film. There's a lot of fun to be had with characters like America Chavez and seeing stuff like the Scarlet Witch be as crazy as she is in that movie. And, there's some good moments with Doctor Strange as well and seeing some multiversal stuff. One of my biggest complaints with the movie is that it's called Multiverse of Madness, and you're mainly only spending time in 2 universes. And I feel like they could have done a little bit more with that title, and especially with, it was a pretty decent runtime, right? I can't remember exactly what it was, but I feel like they could have done a little bit more with the time they had. But at the end of the day, it's still a fun movie, and still a good one for the most part. Not my favorite though. At number 9, I have Miss Marvel. A lot of people might be surprised it's this high up, but with Iman Vellani especially, I think she's the one that really made that character for me, really made that show. I can't wait to see her in the Marvels. She's really the only reason I'm excited to see that movie, just because not only is her in real life such a huge Marvel fan and could probably outschool me about Marvel stuff, but like just her excitement and enthusiasm for being in the Marvel universe, it's infectious. I think she was perfect for the role. I can't wait to see more of her going forward. I don't know if there's plans to make another season of Miss Marvel, but overall, just with her character in there and just moments with her family, like there were some really touching moments in that show when it comes to like family moments and stuff like that. I loved it. There's some really heartwarming stuff in that show that I very much appreciated. So yeah, there's lots of fun to be had with that one, and that's why I put it at number 9. At number 8, I have The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Not my favorite show by any means. I don't think it necessarily has a super strong villain, you know, at least with the characters of the Flag Smashers. But what it lacks with that, it makes up for it in other characters that they have, like John Walker and Baron Zemo. And then seeing it by the end, you know, spoiler alert, but Sam Wilson becoming Captain America. And then just moments with him and Bucky in that show, them going back and forth. There's a lot of fun to be had with this one, and I'm looking forward to rewatching it eventually, probably before Captain America 4 comes out. So yeah. Below that, I have at number 7, WandaVision, the first Marvel series to come out on Disney+. And there's a lot of fun to be had with that show. While it might not have the strongest ending out of all the shows, you know, it's still the first Marvel show, and it's still the first thing of Phase 4. So it means a lot to a lot of Marvel fans, because we remember wondering what the hell was going on, you know, every week with this show. You know, people were glued to it, and people were talking about it. It's very much a cultural thing for Phase 4, and, you know, it's the first streaming MCU show. I mean, we had stuff like Daredevil and all that before, but we were never fully sure if that was connected or not. And now we kind of know, like, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I don't even know. It's almost more confusing now. But yeah, WandaVision might not be the best show, but it was still the first one. You know, it might not be the best show in terms of, like, shows in general. I mean, not, like, out of the MCU. But, like, I don't know. There's a lot of fun to be had with it. You know, the character of Agatha, and, you know, seeing Billy and Tommy in there, you know, even though it's necessarily not Quicksilver, seeing Quicksilver in there. And if you haven't seen WandaVision, then I'm spoiling stuff for you, but there's fun moments in it. So, yeah, I mean, it was the first show, so it deserves to have a higher up spot on the list. But at number 6, I have the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. Not sure if it's just because this just came out and I'm excited about it, and that's why it's close or higher up on the list. But yeah, I mean, I had a lot of fun with this holiday special. It had heartwarming moments. You know, it was fun to see the characters, the Guardians again, and also it was just freaking hilarious as hell. You know, I think this is the better of the two special presentations that they put out on the platform. So yeah, I hope they make more like this. I'm very excited to also see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. This just makes me even more excited for that. So yeah, at number 6, I have the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. At number 5, I have Hawkeye. One of my favorite shows for sure from the MCU. I love the Christmas tone to it. I love the villain that you get revealed in the second to last episode, and then seeing him in the last one. Can't wait to see him again in the future. You know, setting things up with the character of Echo. You know, there's a lot of fun to be had with this one. And it's on more of a street level too. Hawkeye is a character personally I've always liked, especially since Age of Ultron, where he had that moment where he's talking to Scarlet Witch about, like, the city's falling and I have a bow and arrow. and none of this makes sense, but you're an Avenger now, you know? I'm paraphrasing, but like that moment is when I was like, oh shit, Hawkeye's the one that everybody else can relate to, you know? He's the guy, you know? He's just a human. And in this show, you also get introduced to Kate Bishop. I almost said Kate Bush. But yeah, she's great in this show too. I think perfect casting with her character. All around a really fun show. I mean, I even have the poster up. So yeah, Hawkeye is at number 5, one of my favorites for sure, but not my favorite because at number 4 we have Loki season 1. I absolutely love this show. Anytime anybody asks me what this show is like, I'm just like, basically this is Doctor Who for the MCU. That's essentially what it is, and I love it for that. I love Tom Hiddleston as Loki. Loki is one of my favorite Marvel characters in general. You know, at least from the MCU. You know, Owen Wilson is great in here. I think he has a really good back and forth with Tom Hiddleston. Also, Sylvie in here, I think she's fantastic. Yeah, I mean, and that finale, too. A lot of people don't quite like it just because it's slowed down. It's like a slower finale, but I absolutely love it. And the implications of it is absolutely insane. I can't wait for season 2 of Loki, and I have a feeling Loki might play into Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania as well, possibly. I don't know. But yeah, absolutely love this show. Out of all the Marvel Disney Plus shows I would rewatch, Loki would be the first. Number 3, I have Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. One of my favorite Marvel movies in general. I would definitely say it's at least in my top 10, if not my top 5. Something about this movie is just very rewatchable for me. I love the story to it. I love the acting, but most of all, I really love the martial arts in the film, especially that bus scene. Even though it's early on, that bus scene is so cool. But I just love the martial arts aspect of this movie. It's really fun. It's really energetic, and it's a movie I always enjoy when I rewatch. I watched it like 3, 4, possibly even 5 times in the theaters. I watched it a lot. So, yeah, this is one of my favorites for sure. At number 2, I have Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Really, really great movie. Would I say I like it more than the first Black Panther? Not quite, but it is such a really powerful movie. It's moving emotionally. I cried both times watching it. I've only seen it twice so far. I really want to watch it again, but it's one of those movies that's going to stick with me because of the impact that it had on me in terms of my emotions in the film. When a movie can make me cry, that's usually when I know a movie has done something right. And that movie hit me hard. I won't lie. I think it has a really great story to it. It has a really great villain as well. And overall, just the heart of the film and the anguish that you can feel from not only the actors, but the characters for losing not only the character of their brother, of their son, but also somebody who they knew personally in real life, who was a friend and a colleague. You know, you could feel that emotion throughout the film. And, you know, would I say I'm happy about Chadwick Boseman dying? No. But I am happy about the effect that it had on the film, because I think it made the film better than it probably could have ever been. Maybe, possibly, I don't know. I mean, would it have been better if Chadwick Boseman was still alive in the sequel? I think so, absolutely. I mean, of course, that's what everybody wants. But in terms of making a good movie with what you had, I think they did the best possible thing they could. But at number 1, I'm sure you could probably guess what it is. It is Spider-Man: No Way Home. Spider-Man is my all-time favorite superhero. I've loved him since I was a kid. Tobey Maguire was always the one I grew up watching. I also really like Andrew Garfield, even though I don't love his movies as much. But yeah, this movie is fantastic. Excuse me. I think I saw it like 4 times in the theater. Bought it as soon as I could on digital. I even went to see the re-release in theaters as well with the added scenes. So yeah, one of my favorite movies of the MCU in general, which is also kind of funny because it's also mainly a Sony movie than anything. But you know, it's great to see all 3 Spider-Men in there. It's great to see all the villains back as well. Fun to see Doctor Strange in there. Overall, it's a great movie. You know, is it the best Marvel movie of all time? I don't think so. I don't think it's my favorite Marvel movie. I think that probably has to go to Avengers Endgame, but in terms of Phase 4, it is the best movie, is the best, project in general from Phase 4 of the MCU, in my opinion. So yeah, there's my ranking for Phase 4 of the MCU. What did you think? Did you agree with me? Did you disagree? Honestly, I'd love to see your list down below if you're willing to make that long of a list down in the comments. This is just my list, just my opinion. So if yours is different, that is completely okay. Not everybody's going to have the same opinion on that stuff, but I just ask that you kind of respect my opinion. I'll respect yours. But yeah, please let me see your list down in the comments below. I would love to know where you guys would rank things. But yeah, leave a like on the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. I almost said never hit an upload. Yeah, hit the notification bell so you never hit an upload. No. Yeah, so you never miss an upload, okay? Just hit that notification bell. Do me a favor, do that. Like, subscribe, all that shit. Comment down below with whatever you want. Next video, I should be reviewing Season 1 of Wednesday, so stick around for that review coming out tomorrow. But yeah, thank you all for watching once again. I will see you in the next one.